Forgive me, but I can't forgive myself. Sarah Boone's haunting words after Suitcase murder verdict. In one of the most shocking trials of recent years, Sarah Boone, the Florida woman convicted of zipping her boyfriend Jorge Torres Jr. into a suitcase and letting him die, made headlines again, not just a murder, but for her emotional courtroom speech asking for forgiveness.
I forgive George for beating me, senseless, for trying to sleep because I had to go to work or my son's field trip the next day, for ruining my deceased family's heirlooms, traditions, and keepsakes, my son's furniture, destroying the television we watched together, for wrecking our townhome by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors, ramming his entire body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over, for breaking or removing the locks from all of the doors and sometimes the knobs altogether, so I had nowhere to feel safe, including the sacred space of my son's room where he beat me bloody on his bed. For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf dogs by leaving the gate open I built to keep them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond or scrape their remains off of the pavement, for kicking them off of the bed and throwing across the room because they were trying to protect me. For threatening to make me unrecognizable to my son by breaking all of the bones in my face, like his brother Moses did to him after he kept seeing all of the bruises from George beating me, like all of the times their father beat their mother. For all of the drunken rages and fist fights with so many neighbors when wandering into their apartments during hunting expeditions after I had escaped. For drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink, causing me to urinate on myself, then butting the end of the bottle in my face, giving me 2 black eyes and a bloody nose. For making me experience what it is to be sodomized. Threatening to kill my friends and the neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was alive and in one piece. For threatening to burn down our townhome and set my car on fire because I got a job. For holding me hostage on weekends my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck, my phone in his crotch, and a butcher knife stuck in the middle of the table as a warning not to ask anything or try to leave. For stabbing me in the leg and not letting me call 911 for an ambulance or seek help, where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested. For destroying my phone with a hammer because my son called. For me experiencing ever being arrested and after today, prison. For beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe. For having me experience what it means to see stars, like in the cartoons, where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had that too, and many times. For dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him. I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster. I wrote him letters. I wrote his family and his daughters, apologizing for asking for their forgiveness, but due to fear that my life or sons would be jeopardized, I did not send. I am sorry. I cannot begin to fathom any of their grief and sadness. Please forgive me. Almost everything reminds me of him, seeing my stab wound especially every day especially. It truly reminds me that all I really did live through. George haunts me. He is everywhere. I believe because I do still love him, think of him, and miss his laugh the most. In my heart, I know he is with me and understands that this tragedy was not intentional. I hope everyone can, his family foremost. I didn't mean for this to happen. Please wholeheartedly know that, and always, I would never. Forgive me, George. Forgive me, Torres family. Forgive me, Judge Cranick. To the entire planet, please forgive me. I graciously and humbly ask for consideration for forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment.
Sarah, after going through 9 lawyers, was forced by the court to represent herself, a rare and high-stakes gamble that ultimately led to her life sentence without parole, a case that divided the nation. Some see Sarah as a manipulator who mocked a dying man on video. Others believe she was a battered woman pushed to a breaking point. Her trial was filled with contradictions. One moment begging the court to understand her trauma, the next insisting the death was an accident. Still, cell phone footage played in court showed Sarah taunting Torres as he begged to be let out of the suitcase. "This is what it feels like when you cheat on me," she said on the video. He cried, "I can't breathe," and was ignored. Forgiveness or final act? Her last speech stirred mixed emotions. Was it genuine remorse or a final attempt to save face? The victim's family wasn't moved. "Forgiveness starts with honesty," said Jorge's sister. "We never got that." The verdict. Boone was found guilty of second-degree murder in October 2024 and sentenced to life in prison in December. Her decision to defend herself became a symbol of chaos, pain, and pride, wrapped in tragedy. Follow God Bless America TV for bold takes, raw truth, and stories the mainstream avoids.